What's going on, guys? All Blitzer here, back at it again with some more PTCGO content. Today we have Arceus Duraludon. Arceus Duraludon has pretty much been a mainstay in standard format ever since Arceus got printed in Brilliant Stars. It's never been a super overpowering archetype, just being flat 220 or 200 each turn isn't anything super remarkable, but just having that 2-3-3 prize map has always been a challenge for decks, and that Skyscraper ability always has been disruptive in Arceus mirrors. And now against Lugia, this matchup spread is not anything special, but you're also not going to be taking any super bad losses, which I guess is a strength. It's also a very easy deck to pilot, and you don't have to make a lot of extra decisions. So with this list, the only really special card that I'm playing is Lost City because I want to have a little easier time into a Lost Box and Reggie's. Other than that, we have the Training Court for the extra energy recovery, the Mustard in case we whiff turn 1 Duraludon, and a couple Parasols for that Lugia matchup so we can't get Yveltal one-shotted. I do think Duraludon's kind of an interesting spot in this meta right now. I don't know what Vacuum will, I feel like Cologne and Birdkeeper might be a priority for OCIC, so that might mean Vacuums come out of lists. So that could mean that it could be a Duraludon meta, especially if there's single Predator running around that Duraludon can bully. So definitely could be a solid meta call, but I have a couple battles after this. If you enjoy this kind of content, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. And without further ado, let's get into the battles. Alright guys, into the battle portion of this video. I do apologize for any sort of background noise. I'm not recording where I usually do, so if any noises in the background, I do apologize. I should be back to recording to my usual spot for tomorrow morning's video. But we're against Lugia this first game. Our hand is not horrible, but we need to get that turn 1 Trinity charge onto a Duraludon V, and we're missing 2 of those pieces, so we have the Parasol and have the Duraludon VMAX, so we can, if we run the double turbo and the Duraludon V, we're in a pretty solid spot. They're off to a very strong start. They're going to get both of the Archeops down. Discarding Serena tells me that last card is a supporter in their hand, so very strong start from my opponent. Arceus top deck is no good, and no Duraludon. I have to say that Duraludon is one of my least favorite decks to play in format, just because I generally prefer more complex decks, and it's just not very fun to play, and I just seem to draw horribly with it. I'm sure there's people who, mine, I don't play it a lot, so I'm sure mine is just bad luck, not indicative of the way the deck actually draws. But just trying to play this deck for this video, it was kind of infuriating because it seems like every time I face Arceus Duraludon, they always get that turn 2 Trinity charge. I don't think I did it a single time, and I just had hands where I would miss Duraludon, I'd miss attachment, just be like, how do people day 2 with this deck? It's just, it is a very strong deck, but it seems like I don't draw very well with it, so we are in trouble. I didn't want to take a gamble here, because I could have benched the Arceus to potentially avoid losing, but if I do, dropping 2 Arceus is so bad. Yes, I do have a chance. Oh, they just conceded. Maybe they had some energy surprise or something? Wow, okay. On to the next one. We're against Play Drums or Die. That is quite the statement there. Our opening hand's pretty solid. We have a couple Colresses, we have attachment. Going first, so it's great. And we top the Duraludon, even better. So, just need the V-Star on our next turn. We're facing some sort of Lost Box build, presumably, or it could be Palkia. Or it could be something else entirely. Rating Greninja is a pretty versatile card. It is Lost Box. Usually when you see Rating Greninja, it is Lost Box, but you never know on the PTCGO ladder. So, some sort of lightning build. I do want to make a Rayquaza video. It might be coming out tomorrow. I don't know. I don't really have much. I don't have my videos planned for this week. I kind of slacked off for a couple of days. Now I have to really get going, pounding out these videos again. So I was like a day ahead for a little bit, and now I haven't. I'm kind of in that daily content struggle again, but that's okay. I really enjoy making this kind of content, and if it helps you guys out or gives you enjoyment, it's like something that I'm doing normally, playing Pokemon cards, and if I can spend a little extra time to teach other people how to play better, or just make someone else's day better, then it's a win-win, because I get to play Pokemon cards, and you guys get to have a. Hopefully, I'm entertaining. I know I'm not doing the most entertaining. I guess not really the most, like, the sole purpose of this content isn't necessarily to entertain. It's more to inform. But I hope that I'm not just completely my voice isn't too boring. But we hit the RCs off the Colress. We are against a Rayquaza build, so we definitely will want to Lost Zone both of their Rayquaza V-Stars and V-Stars. Both their Rayquaza amazing rares, and like if they attack our Duraludon, I'm gonna hold the Lost City because I don't really care about Lost Zoning this Cramorant. Like if they go Rayquaza to KO this Arceus, we can Lost Zone it, and then if they go for a second Rayquaza to respond, then we can hopefully Lost City and Lost in their second one, and they can't get through our final Duraludon. So of course, is experiment. Hopefully they cannot take out this Duraludon V. That'd be kind of crazy if they can pull it off. But it's 4 energies and it's Zigzagoon, or 5 energies, which would be quite a bit of a reach, but they could definitely get there. They had a pretty strong turn 1, so there's a power selecting out of Comfey. They're dropping the second Rayquaza. That's 7 in the end of the Lost Zone, so that is a bit unfortunate. I apologize for any background noise once again. Mirage Gates at the. Can they get to 5? It's up 4, so maybe not. Oh man, that'd be kind of crazy. Conceal cards. They have Zigzagoon down, so they have to find the actual 5th energy. Like if they're playing water or playing. If they're playing the Raikou package because they're playing metal, so they're probably not playing water. He does an amazing burst for 320, so that's still a monster hit, but at least we're still alive. There's a Colress, so we're going to grab the Switch and the Ultra Ball and the Colress. I can Ultra Ball out Training Court and Training Court and Boss, and get a Duraludon V, set up a backup Duraludon, and bench our Duraludon V, switch into our Arceus, drop the Lost City, and then take a Trinity Nova knockout, and also Lost Zone this Rayquaza, which is pretty important. So we also can get all our energies thinned out of the deck, which is awesome. So sort of our plan is playing out here. Unfortunately, we did have the Lost Zone, a Lost City. So if they usually not playing a terribly high count of stadiums, usually only 1 or 2, but could be hard to find our last Lost City to also in that Rayquaza. So they have a couple of flower selectings. They're definitely. I think Lost Mine wouldn't actually be too bad of a play because they could finish off my Duraludon VMAX on the bench, also set up the second one to being knocked out, and they could just totally completely bypass the Arceus. But they are Lost on both their stabilize. So, are they maybe they'll go for a Raikou? I mean, amazing Raikou could clean things up, but already spent 2 Mirage Gates. So I definitely hope that they try to go through this Arceus instead of going at just bypassing the Arceus. Like I want them to have to go through, take 3 knockouts to win. They will gate to the Rayquaza, and will just be taking the knockout on the Arceus V-Star. And yep, that looks like what's going to happen. They benched the Raikou. No stadium bumps though, so that makes me feel pretty good. So we're probably gonna Marnie here. And Colress, yeah, we're probably gonna Marnie. Hyper Potion, I think, changes the story a little bit. We can Raihan to guarantee the Duraludon V, and then Hyper Potion to at least put that out of Zigzagoon range. Force him to have to attack again. And we can Lost Zone their other Rayquaza. So both their Rayquazas are gone. Arceus V-Star is not good for anything. They have 3 turns to be able to take both of our Duraludon, so it's definitely a pretty tall task without any Rayquazas. I'm kind of okay with getting the Training Court back because I didn't have another Metal Energy to attack with that bench Duraludon, and I already got rid of both of their Rayquazas, so I don't necessarily need to have that Lost City anymore. So they're looking to use the Raikou this turn, which makes a lot of sense. They can set up both Duraludons to be knocked out, and Yeah, definitely. But that's still a 3-shot on my Duraludon, and they don't have a free turn, so 1 Hyper Potion, and I should just be able to they might not have enough time. So only 4 cards left in deck for them too. And they only have 1 Mirage Gate left, so that Mirage Gate must be prized. Wow, okay. So I'm just going to court back, attach to the Duraludon V VMAX, and then Gust the Raikou and take the knockout. Going to do that because they obviously don't have a Mirage Gate. They would have definitely gated and gone for an amazing shot had it been available, but for some reason it's not. So I assume it's in one of their 4 remaining prize cards. Maybe they didn't have the energies. Either way, we still force them to have more resources. They put the Zigzagoon and the Raikou back with the Ordinary Rod. Definitely need that Zigzagoon. If they're not, oof, I kind of have a weird spot now. Man. So they lost him to Lightning. Because they can spit again, and then, but I have to imagine that Mirage gets prized. I think it would be incredibly odd for them to not an amazing shot last turn if they had the option to, and this should definitely tell us if they're Mirage Gate this, if they amazing shot this turn, then so it looks like, yeah, there's no gate, it's prized. So this, I'm just gonna Guster Raikou again. We'll quick ball to Arceus, grab Arceus VSTAR to stay out to the deck. Okay, so they're gonna run your Roxanus. That's unlikely, but still a good habit to get into. And we'll just boss that Raikou and take the knockout. And I do not think they'll be able to amazing shot us to win. It'd be pretty hard for them to. I feel like if they would have had the option to, they would have pulled it out already. And yes, they do concede, so that was a pretty nice win for us. That really showcased the power of Lost City in that matchup, so that does make me pretty happy. So on to the next one here. Against XX Nico, rocking the DC sleeves. As I'm recording this, I am pretty excited because they did lower this CP requirement to go to Worlds. They sent a 350 for a Masters. Definitely check out Zappos TCG. Had a video on it. That's where I first heard about it, so check him out. He does great content. But yeah, so that makes it more attainable. Still no local events in sight, but 350, even if they started local events for quarter 3 and quarter 4, you could still cap out on 200 for League Cups, and as long as you get a solid showing at a regional or an international championship, you could get pretty close to qualifying for Worlds, and it's a lot more reasonable than like 500 where you had to. I still think the CB system is still flawed, but it's an improvement, step in the right direction for sure, especially without local events. 500 is a lot more attainable when you have 4 quarters of local events, but that's another rant for another day. So we're facing Reggies, and we'll have that Lost City play. I'm grabbing Mustard because my hand is close to being able to use that single strike Mustard to get my Duraludon down. I don't have another card I needed to find. So there's a Lost Sun, Regilucky. Regilucky is probably the worst Reggie to Lost Sun because they're collecting 3 of them, so it's still a card that we can just permanently get rid of, which is always great. So there's a Hisuian, a Fail, Trekking Shoes. I would definitely be in kind of in a weird spot if they were able to one-shot me with Regirock. So hopefully they do not pull that off. There's a quick ball, so they're getting the energy down, which is certainly important for them. They get the Regirock and Research. So they need a net and the Regigigas. There's Regigigas, so they just need net. Lotto. I spent 1 net. Trekking Shoes. So hopefully, we would be in a weird spot if they were able to get that Gig Impact, but there's Wisdom, so that means no Reggie. No knockout this turn, so we can loss on this Regidrago because there was no path as well. So we will Colress or the Hyper Pot. I think this is fine. I don't know if, yeah. So I'll attach the double turbo to the active and Hyper Pot to at least put out of range of a Regidrago, like a Regidrago or Regilucky attack, or even a Regice, force them to have to use that Regirock. She knocks out. And we'll Lost Zone that first Regidrago. Won't put any energy down. We find our other Duraludon V, which is awesome. So they promote the Regirock. There are no surprises there. Yeah, they have the energies, so Arceus will be going down. But we can then Gust that Regidrago V, and if they don't bump our Lost City, then both the Regidragos will be in the Lost Zone, and then they won't be able to be any more Ancient Wisdoms. So I expect them to have a pass to the peak because they've only played one, and they're probably playing 3 or 4. They have a 13 card deck left. They're going to do the double Ancient Wisdom play this turn, so that's pretty smart because they realize they don't have another Regidrago, so they can get some energies built up on these Gigas. So there's a Giga Impact, taking the knockout. So we'll bring up our Duraludon. We'll bench our other Duraludon V. We can boss the Draco, of course. Quick Arceus. We do not have an attachment, so we are sort of susceptible to if they had Path, Twin, Belt, and they could knock out this Duraludon V. This Duraludon VMAX in a pretty rough spot, but that's a pretty. I think it's pretty unlikely that happens. It's not the Regirock, so they definitely do not have it. So that's interesting. Maybe they path Giga Impact. I'd reset to Giga Impact because I played boss, so I don't know. If they don't have the Regigigas, if they don't have the Twin Path Belt play, I think we just win because we can just Gust the Gigas, and then they have no way to get enough energy down. They hard retreat in a row. Why didn't they just promote a different Regi in the first place? They lost all those energies now for nothing. Playing 3 Dragos? Oh my goodness. Welcome to ladder, I guess. So I'm just gonna punch into my Duraludon V with that Giga Impact. Alright, well, we'll just unbreed a Lost Zone, I guess. He has the Switch Lost. Oh. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if. I think I just Lost Zone the Regidrago and just force him to have. Okay, that's an excellent top deck. You need to hit attachment. I'm just gonna Lost Zone the Drago, make him have the Twin and the Path. Raihan, oh my goodness. So that was awesome as well. So 3 Dragos. No, they're playing 4. You sometimes see 3 with that Evolving Skies Drago. Like, man, 3 Astral Radiance Regis, and it's a Regigate, so that will be the game. And a scoop. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been Arceus Duraludon. Once again, it's a pretty reliable deck. Not a whole lot of. You're not taking any bad L's, but you're also not going to be overpowering anything. I do not think it's a very fun deck to play, but if you're looking for an easy deck, it's definitely not. It's a solid competitive deck. You can win games with it. It's not very complicated to play. So if you are newer, I would definitely recommend picking this up compared to something like Lost Zone Box or even Lugia has the mirror can be sort of intricate. So if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll get them as soon as I can. And please consider subscribing. I upload Pokemon TCG content every single day. And this has been all of Blitzel, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.